and tonight is my appraisal. Cause I'm a hooker selling songs and my pimp's a record label. This world is full of demon stocks and bonds and Bible traders. So I do the deed, get up and leave a climber and a sadist, yeah. Are you ready for the sequel? Ain't ready for the latest? In the garden of evil, I'm gonna be the greatest. In a golden cathedral, I'll be praying for the faithless. And if you lose, boo-hoo. Hey, look, ma, I made it. Hey, look, ma, I made it. Everything's coming up places, places. If it's a dream, don't wake me, don't wake me. I said, hey, look, ma, I made it. Friends are happy for me, or they're honeysuckle phonies. Then they celebrate my medals, or they wanna take my trophies. Some are loyal soldiers, while these other thorns are rosy. And if you never know who you can trust, then trust me, you'll be lonely. Oh, are you ready for the sequel? Ain't ready for the latest? In the garden of evil, I'm gonna be the greatest. In a golden cathedral, I'll be praying for the faithless. And if you lose, boo-hoo. Hey, look, ma, I made it. Hey, look, ma, I made it. Everything's coming up places, places. If it's a dream, don't wake me, don't wake me. I said, hey, look, ma, I made it.
And I'll make you happy. I'll be home. I'll be beside the phone waiting for you. Why do you build me up, buttercup, baby, just to let me down and mess me around? And then worst of all, you never call, baby, when you say you will. But I love you still. I need you more than anyone, darling. You know that I have from the start. So build me up, buttercup, don't break my heart. You are my toy, but I could be the boy you adore if you just let me know. Although you are true, I'm attracted to you all the more. Why do I need you so? Baby, baby, try to find a little time, and I'll make you happy. I'll be home, I'll be beside the phone waiting for you. Why do you build me up, buttercup, baby, just to let me down and mess me around? And then worst of all, you never call, baby, when you say you will.
Good afternoon, everybody.
I love you still, I need you.
Welcome to our celebration on behalf of our Wisconsin School of Business BBA graduates. Let's give them all a round of applause. My name's Jim Franzoni. I'm Assistant Dean for the undergraduate program here, and I'm really, really thankful for all of you joining us. And Bucky, I'm very thankful for you leading everybody in. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time. We know it's very busy for Bucky this time of year. Graduates, you can all be seated. So, 2 years ago, we planned to have an in-person celebration like this. And that didn't work out, everybody, for reasons. And that's part of the why I'm so ecstatic that we can be here with you and celebrating today and celebrating all of your accomplishments, your perseverance, and your graduation. So our program this afternoon is a pretty simple one. You're going to hear from several speakers, including our Associate Dean, Brian Mayhew, BBA student, Bryson Williams, and our Dean, Samba Murthy. We're going to recognize some accomplishments from folks, and then, of course, we're going to read your names as you cross the stage and receive your diploma covers. Tomorrow at Camp Randall, Chancellor Blank, in her last graduation, will confer your degrees to you officially. So we're very excited, and to start, I want to welcome the Arthur Anderson Alumni Professor of Accounting and our Associate Dean for the undergraduate program, Brian Mayhew.
Welcome, everybody. How are you? You know, before I get going too much, I just want to say I'm an alum of this program. I was you in the 80s. Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. Anyway, I'm super excited to have you all here. I'm super excited to be up here to talk to you for just a few minutes. Let me start out by saying this is my 5th year as Associate Dean, so I've been with you the whole way. You came and visited me in high school, and the first thing I did during the admissions process, I said to your parents, my goal is these kids don't live in your basement when we're done. Okay? That was goal number 1. Now, if you are planning on living in the basement, number 1, I still have a career team ready to help you, career coaches. We'll get you a job. So mom, dad, aunts, uncles, anybody of influence, if they don't have a job, call us. The email address is wsbcareers@wsb.wisc.edu. Second of all, that whole basement thing, I heard there's a lot of this sort of virtual working going on. If the kids are stuck in the basement, maybe you can help them remodel. You know, kids throw in a few bucks, get that perfect bar or work office mom and dad always wanted. It's the least you can do if you got to work there for a while. Students, I met you, first of all, at a thing called Convocation. I still don't really know what that word means, but it was that week of your freshman year when you came in, or maybe your sophomore or pre-biz, where we sort of got you oriented. And the big thing I said there is, show up. Congratulations, you showed up today. I'm excited. You've learned another important lesson. Now, since then, you've been doing things with us. Many of these things we'd call signature experiences. You don't need to really think about this too much, but keep that word in your mind when you fill out forms later. Anyway, signature experiences. How many of you studied abroad? A few? You had it tough, didn't you? It's a sore subject, yeah? Well, come back for a master's degree and we'll send you abroad, okay? How about case competitions? Anybody do any of those? There we go. A little bit of experiential learning. Yeah, some employers come and talk to you in class. Consulting for a local company at all? Or anybody do a little of that? Come on. Did you do? All right, we got to work on that. All right. That's how I learn. And then I know the really big signature experience we all threw for you, the whole virtual learning thing. Wasn't that awesome? Yeah. You know, I don't want to talk about the pandemic much, just for a second, though. You guys did a great job. You adjusted to a very challenging situation, so... you know, that shows your adaptability, your resiliency, and unfortunately, you're just going to have to keep doing that as you go through life. And so maybe a little bit harder way to learn than we would have liked, but again, congratulations on navigating that. So I want to talk just a little bit about your career and where you're going from here. We learned something about data in this school. I hope you all have some notion of data. This is going to be a little bit of a theme here. But so far, 72% of you have told us what you're doing next. Okay, the other 28%, I'm going to talk to you in a minute. Those of you who told us, 70% of you have jobs lined up. You're going to work. Congratulations. %15 of you are going to graduate school. So congratulations to that. And 15% are still seeking. Again, WSB careers at wisc.edu. Yeah. So we can still help you. I really mean that. I want to talk to you a little bit about those of you who do have your career outcomes. I need your help. So you know this thing called rankings? They're actually a little bit of a thorn in my side as Associate Dean. We're trying to be a top 10 school. We need you to tell us if you have a job. It's important. It counts toward our rankings, like how many of you get jobs. Please tell us if you have a job. Don't make us go looking for you on LinkedIn and all that jazz. And then tell us your salary. And I know you're like, what? Why do you need to know that? Because it affects our rankings. And because we live in a data age. Do you remember GB 306, 307, data analytics? Where do you think that data comes from? It's all of you. I need you to share the data with us. So if you would, I would really appreciate you doing that. And one last thing on that, every year my career team can vouch for this. Students get offers from the many great partners we have, and they come to us and say, is this a good offer? Do you know how we know if it's a good offer? You guys have graduated before, tell us, so that we know and we can say, yeah, that's a good offer, or yeah, not so much. So you need to help me pay that forward just a little bit. We do focus a lot about career and jobs here, but I want to remind you, you're more than your career. You can do a lot with your skills. You can engage that in your life in a lot of different ways besides just making money. I want you to just take a minute and reflect about your time here at WSB. You know, what did you learn? What did you take away? How did you grow in this time? If you can't think about it right now, there's too much excitement, take a few moments in the next day or two and just kind of reflect on that. We really hope we gave you the skills to be who you want to be. Not who I think you should be, not who Samba thinks you should be, or your parents. Who do you want to be? Keep asking yourself that every day, and you'll be doing right by yourself and by us. So, you know we're a secular university. We don't have religious ties. But I like to think if UW and the School of Business had a religion, there'd be two fundamental principles to that. The first comes from a plaque sitting on Bascom Hall from the late 1800s called Sifting and Winnowing. And so I'm just going to read that to you for a second. Whatever may be the limitations which trammel inquiry elsewhere, we believe that the great state University of Wisconsin should ever encourage that continually and fearless sifting and winnowing by alone truth can be found. Let me try to say that in modern words. At UW-Madison, we're not afraid to ask hard questions. We're not afraid to listen. We're not afraid to debate. And we're not afraid to revise our beliefs as evidence is brought forward that challenge our existing beliefs. I hope that you'll leave here today with that same spirit in your heart, that you will always challenge your beliefs, that you won't be afraid to evaluate things, you won't be afraid to call things wrong that you think are wrong and call things right that you think are right, and look for the truth. The second thing is something we call the Wisconsin idea. And this is a little harder sometimes to explain, but the gist of it goes something like this, that the influence and service of this university goes beyond ourselves here in Madison, but to the boundaries of the state. We hope even further than that. And so I want you to take that away as individuals as well. You serve more than just yourself. You have a broader impact. You're part of the bigger world around you. I encourage you to engage it, to inform it, to learn from it. But I also want you to remember to be you. You know, take time for yourself, make sure that you're doing all right, and keep going. With that, let me say it's been a tremendous honor to have you here with us at UW, and I hope you never fully leave. I want to say congratulations to you, my fellow alumni, and on Wisconsin.
Thank you very much, Brian. So we had multiple students apply to be our student speaker. Each of them had valuable things they wanted to share and valuable experiences to learn from. Those experiences were impacted by huge events, right? The pandemic, protests for racial justice across the country, presidential elections, and of course, personal triumph and adversity. The applicants who sent in their 300-word kind of summary of what they wanted to speak about, they told us that they made lifelong friends. They were the first-generation students, the first to graduate in their families. They told us that the pandemic forced them out of their residence hall while also not having flights back home to their home country, so they didn't have anywhere to live. They talked about creating new organizations such as Diverse Leaders for Tomorrow to make the WSB a better place, about being resilient. They wanted to share that it is vital to remember businesses are no longer about just making profit. They are there to make change and make the world a better place. Our fellow graduates also wanted us to remember that each and every one of you are worthy of occupying every space that you enter into. One of the students, who was not chosen but did in fact have my favorite quote, simply wrote, "I made some mistakes, I did some things well, I broke my nose. I made lifelong friends and countless memories. I'm not particularly special, but I cherished my time here." I just want to say to that student and to all of you graduating, I think you are all particularly special. And that includes our chosen student speaker, Bryson Williams. Bryson is a finance, investment, and banking major. Bryson was a member of the Sales, Trading, and Asset Management Club, Delta Sigma Pi, and the shout out to Delta Sigma Pi, the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, and the Diversity and Inclusion Council. Bryson interned at Morgan Stanley in the Institutional Equity Division and will be joining Morgan Stanley in New York City full-time post-graduation. Bryson also played 4 seasons with the UW football team, earning academic all Big Ten honors in 19, 20, and 21. Bryson is originally from Lincoln, Nebraska, and I am delighted to welcome him to our stage. Let's round of applause for Bryson.
Hello? You guys can hear me all right? All right, awesome, awesome. Thank you. Thank you all so much for being here today. The opportunity to be up here and speak to you all is extremely humbling, and I wanted to sincerely thank and congratulate everybody for being here, especially my fellow graduating class of 2022. Give it up for yourselves. All right. I have a confession I need to make. A few of you know this, while most of you probably don't, but on June 6th, 2019, I received an email from the admissions office that I had been denied from the Wisconsin School of Business. Thanks for that, by the way. Haven't forgot about that. I read the email over and over again just to make sure what I was reading was correct, and I could not believe it. Now, I have failed at plenty of things in my life before. Trust me, plenty of things. But this time it was different. Our business school was one of the main reasons that I chose to come to Wisconsin. I understood the longevity of success that came along with graduating from this institution. I understood that to be where I wanted to be and to do the things that I promised myself I would, this is where I needed to be. And with one email, I felt it all fading away. So many different emotions and thoughts are running through my head. Do I cry? Do I yell? Should I start looking for new majors? But the question that impacted me the most was how? How am I going to tell my mom? Growing up, my mom was always there for me. She never missed a game, never missed a concert. My mom never missed a moment. And all my life, no matter what I was doing, was all in an effort to make her proud and show her how grateful I truly was. After receiving that rejection email, I knew I had to make a correction to the life I was living, and I told myself right then and there, we are going to fix this. From that moment on, I made the adjustments and improvements to make sure that the next time this application came around, I would be ready. So no more sitting on my phone watching TikToks in the back of class. No more waiting for somebody else to raise their hand first. I was going to do whatever it took to get to the position that I sought after my first day on campus. And following that rejection, I achieved an A in my first business class that summer and eventually made Dean's List the next 2 following semesters. And this was all while developing a genuine network of highly motivated people who were focused on a similar career path to myself. And when the next opportunity came for me to apply again, I knew I was ready. In 1 whole year of late nights and early mornings later, I had finally received the email I'd been waiting for. I was accepted into the Wisconsin School of Business. Thank you. The point I'm trying to make is failure is something that we could easily let overcome us. But failing in itself is usually just a course correction to success. Success that depends on the consistency of your effort just as much as it does the quality of your work. Success that depends on the person you are trying to become, not the person you once were. As we move on to this next chapter, there will no doubt be times that things don't go our way, or we don't get the credit we believe we truly deserve. But reflecting, adjusting, and developing, that's what ultimately makes all the difference. The last 2 years of our college careers have been anything but simple. What is so unique about our class is we were able to get a full year and a half of normal college before having our entire world flipped upside down. We now had to face challenges that nobody could have prepared us for. The restrictions and lockdowns, separation from our families, dealing with the future of uncertainty, and for some of us, we had to face the death of loved ones. And this was all during a time when the country seemed to be splitting farther and farther apart. Issues dealing with racial and social injustice came to the forefront. People were finally becoming aware of the things that had been hidden for too long. And from this, we heard voices from the inaudible. We saw action by those previously still. We came together as a university and as a city, and we saw firsthand how much more powerful we are when we do things together. Right now, we live in a world that tells you to hate those you disagree with, rather than listen and try to understand them. Where two sides can't be right and the other is always wrong. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, quote, "We must learn to live together as brothers and sisters or perish together as fools." You see, the ultimate purpose of a bridge is to be able to get across any obstacle and perform effective communication between two destinations. In class of 2022, I'm challenging you and everybody else in here to be that bridge that the world needs now more than ever to overcome the obstacles that lie in front of us. My fellow graduates, we cannot forget the importance of acknowledging the fact that despite everything that's happened over the last couple of years, we have made it this far, which is an extraordinary achievement in itself and something that each one of us should be proud of. I ask you all that as we move on to the next chapter, to remember two things. First, we have the opportunity of a lifetime right in front of us, and we cannot let that go to waste. We will have to navigate the challenges of being in a new place and with new people. So don't waste this opportunity doing a job that you don't want to do, and don't waste your time around people who you do not enjoy. It's so critical to remember that at the end of the day, we really only do get one chance at this life. And it truly is up to us to make the most out of it. When you're doing something that you love, that you enjoy, you inspire others to do what they love. And you will create this rippling effect that goes above and beyond what you or I could ever imagine. The second thing I want you all to remember is what it truly means to be a Badger. Being a Badger isn't about the flair, it isn't about the dazzle, it's about the work and effort that we give day in and day out in making sure to have a hell of a time while doing it. Coming from Wisconsin means we don't get things handed to us. We have to go out and we have to work for them. And quite honestly, we don't want it any other way. It means that, yeah, you know what? We may work all night during the week on a project, studying, homework. But I guarantee you, when Saturday comes and it's time to jump around again, we will all be ready for the occasion. Being a Badger means that no matter where we are in this world, we will always have a place to call home. Before I end this speech, I would like to thank everyone in my life that's helped me get to this position. I want to thank my family for sticking by my side through all the ups and downs. Specifically, I want to thank my mom. Oh boy, all right. For all the sacrifices that you've made, for all the hours that you traveled just for me to get to this position I'm at right now. Can't cry because I'll look at you, Mom. I love you, though. I want to thank you for instilling the spirit of determination and excellence in me at a young age. I plan on living life the same way I always have, and that is to continue to make you proud. I want to thank my friends and classmates as, without all of you, this journey would not have been the same. I'm leaving this university with memories of late nights, of long days, the tough Friday and Sunday mornings after a night at the KK. Listen, we've all been there, okay? Gotta do it. And with friends that I will now call family. And on behalf of all the business badgers in attendance, I would like to thank the Wisconsin School of Business. This school has changed my life and the trajectory of my family's life in a way I could have never imagined. You brought me opportunities I never dreamed of, brought me friendships I would have never otherwise had. But most importantly, you gave me and every other graduate in here an experience of a lifetime, and we will never forget that. And for that, I am forever grateful, and I'm forever thankful. Thank you all so much, and on Wisconsin.
Thank you so much, Bryson. So at this time, we want to recognize individuals and groups within our graduating class. So as I make these recognitions, stand up briefly, and we'll applaud, and then you can sit back down. So we first want to acknowledge our WSB graduates with distinctive scholastic achievement. You have the red stoles on, and you are in the top 20% of your class. Please stand. Excellent. You can sit. So next, I'd like all of our presidents of student organizations to stand. Thank you all for your leadership. And then anyone else who held a leadership position in a student org, please stand up. Our student organizations are such an important part of the Wisconsin School of Business experience, and we truly appreciate everything you've done to make those orgs happen. We'd also like to acknowledge any student athletes who are graduating, if you'd stand. I know we have one. Awesome, thank you all. All of our international students who have had to deal with a lot of difficulty with COVID and travel and visas, please stand. Any students who served or are serving in the military or ROTC, please stand up. Okay. I was the first person to be able to go to college in my family, and it was a hard process because I didn't always know exactly what school meant. And so recognizing those of you who are first-generation students, would you please stand up? So we have a group of students whose experience with the Wisconsin School of Business actually started 7 years ago when they were in high school. And if all my Wisconsin Business Emerging Leaders students would stand up who are graduating today, congratulations to you all. And then we have folks who can't get enough of the Wisconsin School of Business, and so they're going to keep going. So anyone joining our IMAC programs, Finance and Applied Security program, or any of our other master's programs, please stand up. Awesome. And then is there anyone else going into graduate school who also just wants to go right back into books as soon as possible? If you're going to grad school after this, or law school, or med, please stand up. Thank you. So graduates, I'd actually like all of you to stand up now. Thank you. No, you don't need to applaud them. Because what I'd like you to do is turn and please applaud your families, your parents, guardians, brothers, sisters, moms, dads, aunts, uncles, all those who have supported you over the last 4 to 5, 6 years. Truly, everyone in this room, they could not have done that without you. So our final speaker is celebrating the completion of his 3rd year at the WSB, so he's not a graduate yet. But this is also his first completely in-person year. Dean Samba Murthy is an Albert O. Nicholas Dean of the Wisconsin School of Business. He's recognized as an impactful administrator, attentive leader, and preeminent scholar in the areas of innovation and digital strategy. Prior to his current role, Dr. Samba Murthy served on the Ely Broad Professor and Associate Dean of the MBA and Professional Master's Program at Michigan State. A leading expert on how businesses compete in the digital economy, Dr. Samba Murthy's work has been featured in leading academic journals. Working with executive clients, Fortune 500 companies, and academic colleagues in China, Taiwan, Singapore, India, and Hong Kong, he has focused on digital business transformations, strategic alignment, governance, and innovation, and has co-authored several books on digital transformation. Please welcome our Dean, Dean Samba.
Class of 2022, you've done it. What's more important is I've done it. It's taken me 3 years to have this party. When I came here in July 2019, I said to Jim, why don't we have a party? And who knew about the pandemic? But here we are, and congratulations. What a great moment this is, because you earned it, and we are here to celebrate you. Thank you, Bryson, for those inspirational words, and thank you, Mom, for sending Bryson to us. Your journey at the Wisconsin School of Business began a year before I arrived here, so I can't pretend to claim that I know everything about you, but I know some about you, because at some point, I had to go behind a Zoom screen, and not necessarily my choice. But here we are, face to face. During these 4 years, regardless of what surprises and challenges have been thrown at you, you have been steadfast. You've been engaged. You've been passionate about your education, friendships, and growth. And that's the spirit of a true Badger. I've heard of your accomplishments. There are many, but here are some examples. Many of you have been involved in volunteer service in our local community. You've taken on roles in student organizations and clubs. You've acted as a mentor or a tutor to others. You even worked directly in the school to shape this very own program. One of you started for a petition for what's now our Multicultural Student Center. Thank you, Nala. One of you led the UW Student Association as president. Thank you, Pranay. One of you created a new student organization, the Diverse Leaders for Tomorrow. Thank you, Jordan. You started your own Undergraduate Affinity Group. Thank you, Lily. You have among you a two-time women's hockey national champion. Congratulations, Grace Balby. The Collegiate DECA, the UW-Madison chapter, has been breaking records every year for the number of members selected for the International Career Development Conference and competition. I'm so proud of the fact that at the 2022 ICDC competitive events, our chapter had 5 top 3 winners in the various categories, plus 16 top 10 finalists. Thank you for leaving something for the others, but congratulations. Two BBA graduates were first place winners for the UW-Madison Student Employee of the Year. Congratulations, Madeline Martel, 2020-2021. And Dakota Redger, having a name like mine, I'm very conscious of spoiling others' names. 21-22. Congratulations to both of you. You have interned at numerous companies across the breadth of the country. You are headed to rewarding jobs, 72%, and if you are in the basement, it's only because you are redecorating your parents' basement with your newfound wealth. You are headed for rewarding careers both in the new economy as well as in the old economy. And the world is just waiting to discover your talent across the globe. Congratulations for marking your time here with your success and impact. We are proud of you. There's no doubt that you have left an indelible mark on the Wisconsin School of Business. It is not surprising. When I first came here 3 years ago, I asked the following question: what makes Business Badgers special? Not that I didn't know, otherwise I would not have taken this job. But what makes Business Badgers special? I heard tales of grit. I heard that Badgers dig in. I heard that Badgers are smart, can't deny that. Badgers build a place. They don't start from the top, unlike that other school that I used to look at when I was in Michigan. And I don't mean Michigan State. Badgers are humble. They are tenacious. In my 3 years, I found all of these are true. But above all, what I learned is Badgers are trusted to lead. What does that mean? Badgers do business differently. Badgers chase dreams that don't come easy. Badgers pursue ideas that just won't quit. I think there's a song like that somewhere. They have the confidence to create the unexpected. They find ways when there is no clear path, there's no blueprint because they build one. Badger leaders know that we are stronger when we move forward together. We grow, we move ideas, people, and vision forward. During my travels, for the 6 months that I could actually travel, I went across the country to discover what makes Badgers great. I met Jake Wood, a fellow business Badger who also played football, who launched Team Rubicon and Groundswell and created a bold new model for charitable giving so that others can have an everlasting impact on the world. I met Cynthia Chu, whose journey started in Asia and she came to Madison to her current role as the Chief Financial Officer of Audible. Many of you probably listened to Audible books, and it was a great pleasure to meet Cynthia and find out how her journey took her to unexpected places. I met Rena Wakun, who merged her passion for wellness with her entrepreneurial instinct shaped in Madison, and polished her instincts through a career at Google to start her own company today. These are only a few examples of business badgers who have excelled in defining the purpose of business. It's not just to create industry leadership, but it is to influence lives, make the world a better place, and improve society. Among you, the next generation of business badgers, I see the next Rena Wakun. I see the next Jake Wood. I see the next Cynthia Chu, and I see many others. You will leave Madison to shape your own destiny. You will marry the knowledge, skills, and experiences that you have acquired here and marry that with your own passion, with your life dreams, your aspirations. We know that your path will be paved with challenges. There will be unexpected moments where you will be tested, but your persistence will be tempered with moments of joy and pride when you succeed. You will find what truly motivates you, and you will have the power to affect meaningful change for the rest of the career. We know it because you've already done it. You know that the only thing constant in the world you go out to is change, and you are the ones who thrive in change. I know, however, that you will ride the highs and the lows of your career with the true badger spirit, with grace, with humility, and with companionship. Along with your professors, teachers, staff in the BBA program who enable your journey and numerous others, we can't wait to hear the stories of your success and impact and how you are trusted to lead. On this day, in this moment, let us join in thanking your families who are here with you. They were there with you at the magical moment when you found out that your path heads to Wisconsin. And maybe immediately, first try, second try, immediately, eventually to the Wisconsin School of Business. They were there to celebrate every moment, to ask you to hang in there, and to tell you that there is a light, no matter how faint it looks today. So thank you, families. Let us not forget the staff in the BBA program office, who've been your biggest advocates, and I know it because Jim is in my office, mentors and guides throughout your journey. I see many of our staff here. Jim, thank you to your entire team for bringing this cohort to graduation, but also for organizing today's event as a grand celebration. Special thanks to Jenny for taking our dream and making it a real vision. Thank you, everyone. Finally, business badgers, as you graduate and enter the vast community of alumni, I remind you what makes this place great beyond the faculty, beyond the instructors, beyond the staff, beyond the students, are the alumni. I have never found alumni who are more loyal, who are more passionate, and so proud. Badger alumni give back in all ways. Your success is in a small way because of those who have continued to give back. In a way, you are riding on the shoulders of those angels who have gone through this place before you. And what a great community you will be entering in tomorrow as your graduation. So be those angels from tomorrow. Be proud of being a business badger. Be our ambassadors and advocates. Come back often to mentor the next generation of business badgers. Come back to say hello to your professors, teachers, career advisors, academic tutors, and numerous others who have influenced you. Come and see me wherever you are, because I will be traveling. So class of 2022, take out your shades, because your future is so bright that this is the only way to look ahead. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dean Samba. So at this time, we are going to get ready to read the names of our graduates and have them cross the stage and receive their diploma cover. Guests, we ask that you please stay seated and away from the professional photographers who are capturing graduates as they walk across the stage. And we ask all graduates to return to their seats after receiving their diploma covers and pictures here on the end of the stage. We are going to start in a few minutes. We'll let our ushers get into place, and they will guide you through everything. But otherwise, yeah, this is the part where we get to acknowledge you individually, every one of you. So we're excited.
Bryson Williams. Adam Reutstein. Elena Hill. Amy Wires. Isabel Rimilowski. Ryan Unruh. Molly Lawby. Sydney Shortreed. Olivia Schessler. Kate Price. Calvin Horsch. Caroline Yowsley. Ellie Stoffel. Cindy Ramirez Garcia. Nicholas Flores Sanchez. Kayla Esperanza Dachant. Lily Galixon. Laura Hartman. Igor Marjanovic. Claire Brower. Drew Schrader. Brock Kelly. Balin Welch. Brandon Heach. Anna Gutzner. Abby Schaefer. Mason Skaja. Nicole Madden. Lucas Leon. Andrew Ham. Nathan Cotter. Jack Maud. Ethan Ellerbrock. Troy Sorensen. Adam Sadoff. Jack Gewirtz. Carson Kunkel. Jackson Gray. Michelle Perry. Alexis Chervinko. Callie Geschke. Melissa Bakai. Barry Boyarski. Jesse Hoffberger. Brandon Friedman. Gabrielle Speck. Kezia Douglas. Sydney Stern. Ryan Cohen. Maxwell Hofschild. Tyler Kieser. Jaeger Wong. Bain Boshi. Michael Davey. Catherine Wrights. Lakshya Pokareo. Lindsay Coleman. Sarah Haas. Alina Ziong. Lam Nguyen. Ria Call. John Hewitt. Bridget Marie Horvath. Mary Josephine Schultz. Anna Brenny. Frances Ann Ferrolo. Haley Lobsher. Melissa Okus. Sydney Schuyler. Ian Bold. Lisbeth Huertas. Nala Mikewarter. Michael Chopnung. Madeline Mortel. Jessica O'Donnell. Julia Chelik. Lindsay Ginsberg. Margaret Carol Reisman. Unji Song. Olivia Ann Schauer. Alexandria Julie Rossana. Eli Lewis Winter. Andrew Warner. Sam Haight. Jordan Levy. Jenna Story. Kayla Wagner. Ryan Severson. Sophie Tesh. Kiara Coble. Hannah Ansick. Kinsey Baber. Jack Paulick. Brighton Gomarek. Samuel Smith. Daniel Ibrick. Logan Davies. Conrad Dudenhofer. Cassandra Berg. Griffin Corbett. Annie Claypool. Isabel Stengel. John Murin-Rainitz. Michelle Strodoff. Danielle Lakey. Megan Pierce. Simon Fan. Jacqueline Planter. Olympia Wondruk. Annika Strand. Claudia Strand. Casey Van Spankeren. Thomas Mingwasser. Dylan Olson. Christopher Miller. Ian Melnick. Richard Shee. Andrew Ty. Brendan Reborg. Luke Nicholson. Josie Hansen. Parker Vanda High. Tanya Ramesh. Taylor Conley. Kennedy Peters. Zachary Hansen. Tanner Wagner Durr. Benjamin Sherris. George Boldesano. Zach McDonnell. Riley Cooper. Allie Kelly. Nicole Wegner, Spencer David Hickady, Stefan Tice, Eric Hovila, Parker Canoe, Kyle Moriarty, Emily Catherine Garber, Caitlin Grace Rubin, David Meneke, Mason Vaughn, Christopher Sysick, Michael Henry, John Reardon, Ryan Liebergen, Jasmine Kiani, Caden Benson, Chris Bierman, Theodore Miller, Samantha Stotts, Taylor Gilmore, Jacob Shupek, Joe Bestie, Kalevi Brechterfield, Stephanie Maluso, Carly Seidel, Grace Plunkett, Kayla Zimders, Kylie Gustafson, Catherine Sheffelus, Corinne Bilo, Michael Miksick, Jacob Leibowitz, Roth Mizell, Josh Kreitzer, Abby Bressers, Paige Thrana, Carolyn Eno, Ellen Noe, Alexandra Petrova, Sarah Nelson, Catherine Kurska, Keely Tess, Catherine Madigan, Emily Nelson, Gabia Ulcinante, Stacy Amaya Bueno Teodora, Latoya Wilson, Monica Murphy, Jaden Syverson, Kelsey Lawrence, Alex Paprocki, Dakota Rutger, George Roman, Tanishka Jain, Ben Luer, Lauren De La Rosa, Julia Pleta, Shweta Nagarajan, Sonia Mehra, Mitchell Harold, Alexander Fisher, James Kilcheski, Gabriella Frecking, Kayla Jean Glatzmeyer, Rachel Braun, Anna Christine Evans, Ethan Rogers, Ellis Gray Greenstein, Charles Woodcock O'Brien, Connor Granberg, Drake Pollock, Zachary Davis, Joshua Roninsky, Abby Schumacher, Julian Glazewski, Adeline Sleepman, Christina Kermis, Anna Klein, Catherine Peterson, Annie Walsh, Emma Graves, Lauren Mueller, Anna Hughes, Elizabeth Peterson, Natalie Brecken, Erin Luer, McKenna Rokert, Margaret Krolchek, Jace Hipp, Eric Miller, Mason Batchelor, Nicholas Lohberger, Jacob LeBeau, Andrew Doyle, John Grossart, Benjamin Bradenberg, Nicholas Marchand, Christian Spencer, Max Sheebley, Kate Wallish, Michael Fertney, Jordan Kennedy, Nicholas Seatman, Kieran Tolley, Pranav Srivastava, Michael Treadwell, John Richter, Zachary Heckman, Tyler Wallen, Hannah Elizabeth Cottrell, Sarah Zayden, Bryce Wagoner, Kylie Larson, Michael Tarchinsky, Rebecca Meltz, A.J. Remus, Nicholas Ishizaki, Trevor Hammond, Kara Dunton, Nicole Pink, Kate Jarko, Adam Frelka, Daniel Leitner, Sydney Port, Emma Escaldi, Amanda Bushman, Adith Mehra, Ellie Premenko, Marie Downey, Noah Lampkins, Jeffrey Prowse, Mitchell Kostanek, Josh Leland, Morgan Cox, Manali Vigia, Zach Ruder, Andrew Donks, Sam Johnson, Sek Tang Leong, Rion Lu, Vishal Puthparaja, Noel Karen Yap, Michael Patrick Tuffy, Cade Edward Peterson, Ishan Patel, Landon Salepis, William Kloss, Dustin Luke Duffy, Nathaniel Reen, Jenna Pawlowski, Alexis Gosh, William Zordani, Nathan Artinian, Adam Newberger, Matthew Prodzinski, Matthew Parma, Nathan Radke, Andrew Menderfield, Zachary Bradbury, Ryan Tully, Patrick Conta, Wiley Belter, Andrew DeMuray, C.J. Adurian, Jack Curacao, Patrick Sullivan, Daniel Francis Grubb Gattoni, Kristen Ahrens, Ellie Bruss, Mason Gill, Madeline Ann Krieger, Abigail Gilman, Emily Shermock, Cassidy Sanchez, Brennan Bauer, Susan Dawood, Hannah Joyce, Zoe Hermberg, Riley O'Connell, Corinne Etzelmuller, Victor Nelson, Matthew Drastel, Kush Donnie, Reynolds Peer, Christian Galvin, Theodore Schmidt, Evan Dahl, Declan Donovan, Nicholas Kruger, Thomas Anderson, Bryce Morgan, Ethan Sapo, Jack Cry, Dominic Scola, Nick Pauley, George Jameson, Michael Montalbano, Buddy Ludwig, Carter Els Higginbottom, Isabel Cortina, Holly Stable, Margaret Wansey, Nicole Stark, Cameron Frazier, Will Kaler, Caleb Ziebel, Scott Hall, Ki-Yan Jai, John Andrew Pollock, Dylan Alexander DeMuth, Cooper Edward Healy, Ben Kopnick, Austin Heimroll, Andrew Cohen, Felix Liu, Karina Giao, Cade Geldreich, Kayla Lorenz, Amelia Taylor Victoria, Samantha Deacon, Alyssa Wolf, Carson Oak, Andre Vandit, Brandon Mikes, Xin Ying Shen, Yu-Chi Dong, Danielle Kristen Stina, Claire Elise Pieper, Denise Antonella Stoika, Stephanie Luce, Madeline Martin, Camilo Ferrara, Jackson Pagel, Henry Mitchell Gruen, Charles Langhoff, Madeline Hughes, Caroline Boynton, Alice Kaiseretta, Holly Brinkman, Peter Ackerman, Nicholas Kay, Jake Gammon, Elijah Smith, Jackson Arms, Ryan Zickwolf, Mahi Patel, Rachel Manier, Brianne Connors, Marcus Lanzer, Olivia Douglas, Margot Boyer, Audrey Roos, Grace Feitel, Maya Levy, Katerina Jacobs, Aaron Piermich, Jenna Sathier, Travritz Kotzenberger, Bennett Peterson Huber, Drew Gorski, Lauren Foster, Annie Martin, Briggs Hamer, Noah Zenker, Nicholas Lishka, Andrew Lee, John Park, Declan Nashold, Ileana Chevres, Melissa Lee, Megan Nago, Sarah Park, Allie Weber, Jadalyn Shalone Egan's, Sarah Lauren Stadler, Chloe Cole, Jason Bergstein, Ethan Edelman, Kobe Kami, Dylan Shapiro, Jason Schwartzberg, Zach Hazen, Josh Russ, Zach Hoffman, Austin Rispler, Ethan Wexler, Matthew Schupak, Hannah Bounds, Alyssa Odo, Andrew Prommel, Benjamin Weatherby, Justin Anderson, Mallory Ellis, Lauren Taylor Knutson, Nicole Warren, Grace Elizabeth Colvin, Reagan Heiser, Alyssa Fontaine, Grace Orella, Stephanie Gala, Riley Lamarund, Catherine Murphy, Marissa Elaine Mungovin, Brett Grokowski, Emily Tully, Miranda Prawl, Lauren Mudloff, Carly Leanne Smith, Paige Elizabeth Herzog, Amanda Janae Mitchell, Carly Christine Kotel, Marlena Marie Schieselman, Maddie Olton, Mary Kathleen Feldsot, Sophia Isabella Brochek, Olivia Stack, Tucker Remmers, Tara Rosacker, Emma Dubois, Morgan Carger, Sophia Wallach, Samuel Herbst, Jake Ward, Matthew Wolf, Carter Allen, Trevor Allen, Logan Cole, James Stephen Domock, Maya Herr, Katrina Phillips, Chris Waite, Trevor Michael Millhouse, Catherine Miller, Jessica Fonte, Samantha Carroll, Carly Tho, Megan Waldvogel, Lily Dupree, Catherine Reeder, Taryn Cotta, Austin Ellis, Ryan Hurwitz, Jason Canoop, David Love, Gabe Ketselnik, Garrett Sprouse, Chichaya Chimatnu, Catherine Marie Cleveland, Claire Liu, Claire Stump, Carly Rose Del Forge, Madison Pollock, Alexandra Rebholz, Morgan Rebholz, Sarah Lundbord, Trevin Kroichik, Evan Simon, Elena Wallenfang, Michael Block, Arkash B. Fasisht, Charlie Gray, Burke Himmelberg, Ryan Stephen Cummings, Aaron Joseph Shapiro, Ani Vinchachais Warren, Connor Menning, Andrew Gininger, Connor McGorry, Matthew Barba, Jake Liggett, Javon Bowen, Sam Goldman, Jack Seffinger, Nicole Ni Tang, Elva Ung Sen Ying, Amanda Goodowitz, Casey Santoro, Lizzie Kaplan, Isabel Schwartzapfel, Alexa Rosen, Christopher Constantine Kondolian, Max Serpi, Max Gontman, Marcel Seeger, Jake Rosenberg, Noah Bluestein, Sam Hahn, Fauzan Pasiribu, Andrea Francesca, Megan Winarta, Timothy Devin Sutoino, Emily Woody, Gabby Wynn, Kate Wu Hagigi, Sarah Anderson, Harper Tong, Joyce Wang, Murphy Zong, Corinne Kettering, Taylor Laufenberg, Zijian Zheng, Winnie Xia, Anna Levy, Marie Mayers, Deirdre Kelly, Hallie Greenberg, Morgan Hamholz, Sarah Schultz, Charlie Miller, Anna Joe, Sung Yup Kwag, Kyle Gross, Zach Landsberg, Alexander Vapin, Jason Jonapah, Aaron Dinkin, Jacob Wolk, William Richmond, Adi Paret, Alex Handworker, Sasha Michael Serlin, Noah Parker Spitz, Sam Waldman, Itamar Orone, Jonas Monason, Luke Frischman, Michael Sotaneo, Chloe Ye Tung Ding, Maurice Lim, Catherine Slingerland, Josh Berman, Jessica Ferenchek, Elizabeth Caparella, Bo Ledoux, Hannah Northfell, Caroline Iserloff, Harry Porter, Lindsay Grinspoon, Isabella Samkow, Lily Holscher, Corey Zimmerman, Alex Lefkowitz, Charlie Walder, Jillian Whedon, Navya Narendra, Katie Heisa, Lindy Swick, Brooke Ament, Tia Forsyth, Keith Hansford, Andre Dislin, Connor Gritty Fixel, Samuel Talmadge. Thomas John Killian, driver. Christopher Otten Romero. Spencer Bloom. Miriuni Goldfarb. Justin Hodek. Chase Scandios. Jack Lilly. Tate Sundberg. Amit Kumra. John Kruger. Andrew Barenfeld. Tommy McGuire.
BBA students, you have worked very, very hard to earn one of the finest business educations in the world from, let's just call it what it is, the best university in the world. And we are all tremendously proud of you. Tomorrow, you will officially become graduates of the Wisconsin School of Business and the University of Wisconsin-Madison. And on behalf of the business school and everyone in attendance today, I wish you all the very best in your very, very bright futures. I truly encourage you to stay connected to us, to your departments, to your faculty, and to the friends you've made here throughout your education. And if we could give our graduates a round of applause one more time, congratulations. Dean Samba asked me to remind you to do one thing for him tomorrow and to bring these to Camp Randall if you are going. He would like you to have these, and so do that as a favor to the Dean. And so now as we conclude, guests, we'd ask you to stay in your seats so that our graduates can exit through the middle aisle, and then you can meet your graduates out in the lobby. Thank you all for being with us here today, and on Wisconsin.